Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a new workout vlog. So this is one out of my 2 workouts for the week. This is workout B, starting off with some incline bench press here. So I've actually been doing a fantastic job maintaining my strength on this cut. I've actually been making a little bit of progress, which is, it's doable at the beginning of your cut. The deeper you get into your cut, the harder it is to, maintain your strength, let alone gain strength. But I've actually been doing a fantastic job of actually making a little bit of progress. This is one of the best workouts I've had in a while. Very high quality, high intensity workout. I actually added a rep to this set right here. So last week I was working with 190 pounds on this second set for 8 reps, and I managed to get 9 here. So I hit that 8th rep on this set, and I'm like, you know what, man? I think I might have the 9th. So I said fuck it, and I went for it, man. And it was one of the biggest grinders I've ever had. This is a crazy rep. Like I saw things during this set. You know what I mean? I saw light. Look at this. Like this was intense. Man, that was a difficult rep. I had to lay back down on the bench here just because I was seeing stars, and I'm like, I can't stand up. Can't stand up quite yet. So it's interesting. One thing I've learned is that you don't necessarily want to push your sets to that level. You know what I mean? There's this sweet spot you have to hit when you're training with a high level of intensity, which is very important, right? You want to still leave 0 reps in reserve, 0 reps in the tank on most of your sets. That's truly where you're going to stimulate the most amount of muscle growth. But at the same time, you don't want to fail your sets. You don't want to have that last rep take 20 seconds to get up, because the truth is, guys, the goal of training is progression, right? You have to be seeing progress. You progressive overload is the primary goal. That's what you need to be seeing over time. If you're seeing that, then it's a sign that your physique is improving. And the thing is, when you push your sets to that level, it's really hard to progress from that. You can't really bounce back from a set like that because you've literally left no room for progress. A lot of times what happens to me is that when I have sets that are that crazy, where that last rep is just absolutely nuts, and it's taking me 10 seconds to get it up, or even if I fail it, what happens is that I'll usually regress in strength the next workout because it was just more than I could handle. And if I don't regress, then I'll usually just struggle to progress from that. And so there's this sort of sweet spot that you have to learn to hit where you're pushing it really hard, right? You're training with intensity, you're stimulating a lot of muscle growth, but you're not destroying yourself. So now I'm getting into some incline barbell rows. So shout out to my man Jason Cade in the comments section. I was literally about to get into some incline dumbbell rows in this workout, and I'm just too fucking strong at this point. I maxed out my dumbbell stack. And I'm I gotta find an alternative. And I literally start scrolling through my comment section on my last Q&A, and I see this recommendation. I'm like, holy tits, this would be fantastic. I thought of it before, and I'm you know what, the bench is definitely gonna get in the way of the bar, but now that I'm reviewing this footage, it looks like I'm getting a very solid range of motion, and everything's good here, despite the bench almost falling forward here and me eating shit. You can see that bottom of the bench coming off the ground a little bit. That's a little bit scary now that I'm looking at this. Apart from that, and apart from, kind of the pain of getting it up into, into position, it's a pretty viable alternative. You know what I mean? Not bad at all, man. Sometimes when you're working with a home gym, you got to get creative. Obviously, I'd rather be doing some cable rows or some machine rows, hammer strength rows and whatnot. But that will certainly get the job done. That will give me a lot of progress to make. So now I'm hitting a couple sets of lateral raises. I pretty much just take these to burnout. So I do 2 sets. 20 to 25 reps. I just take them to the point where my form breaks down. I think despite the fact that you can't make a ton of progress on lateral raises, you can't get that strong on them, I think they're still a very, very important exercise. I think lateral raises have done a ton for my shoulder development over the years. I've stayed very consistent with doing lateral raises over the years, and I think it's paid off. Because nothing really hits the side delts like lateral raises. With overhead pressing, you're gonna get, the bulk of your shoulder development, but for that extra sort of capped look, that extra, fullness in your shoulders, I think it's important to throw in some higher rep lateral raises or rear delt flies or face pulls. You want some sort of shoulder isolation work, just so you can make sure you're maximizing your shoulder growth, because shoulders are the biggest muscle in the upper body. So you want to make sure you're maximizing their development. So now I'm getting into some barbell curls here, and I actually was experimenting with this new technique that helped me hit my biceps more. So what I realized with these barbell curls is that a lot of times my forearms are just gassed. Like I'm feeling my forearms a bit too much on these barbell curls. Like obviously I want to build my forearms and whatnot, but I'm here to build my biceps when I'm doing these curls. So I don't want my forearms doing the brunt of the work. So I realized that the solution is to let your wrists fall back a little bit. So if you see how I'm doing these curls, like I'm not stacking my wrists, I'm not keeping them straight. I'm letting my wrists just cock back a little bit, and that makes you helps you stimulate your biceps much more. So I was feeling like very sore in my biceps the next day. So I hit my biceps really hard like this. Obviously I had to take some weight off the bar to kind of make that work, because it's, you're a little bit weaker when you let your wrists fall back, but hits the biceps way harder. So I ended up doing a little bit of a drop down set here. So the first set I was doing like 75 pounds, and then on the second set I took off about 10 pounds, which I find is very common with biceps. Like if I do, one set with a given weight, I almost always have to take off a little bit. Like I was doing straight sets on them for a while, but now I'm just like having a hard time like maintaining performance on that second set. So I usually have to take some weight off the bar. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.